everybody, I am going to do a photo shoot next week, but today we're going to go scout the location before we do it, kind of get an idea of what we're doing. And I want to take you along with me and kind of show you how I go about scouting locations. If you've never scouted a location, you're missing out, because I think it's one of those simple things that I do that takes my photography a little bit higher when I go into a project, kind of have an idea of what I want to get done and how I'm going to do it, and it just looks more professional to the client because you're not stumbling and bumbling around trying to figure out what you're going to do. If I've already been there, figured out what I want to do, not that things can't change, but let me show you real quick how we're going to go about doing this one. Okay, what I'm going to take along with me, I'm going to take the camera that I'll use that day with the lens that I plan to use. I'm bringing one light. I've got a little diffusion on the front of it. I've got a stand to hold the light because I'm going by myself, unfortunately. A lot of times I like to take my wife or somebody with me so I can have like a stand-in model if I'm doing portraits or something. So we'll just take a couple, 2 or 3 things along with that light stand, and yeah, let's go scout a location. I have to admit that taking my camera for a scouting run, I got kind of an ulterior motive because it is finally starting to look like spring and getting really pretty and sunny. Daffodils are starting to pop up, so I'm hoping that maybe I can take some cool spring type photos while I'm out there. Okay, I made it to my location, which happens to be in little town called Glendale, and if you can see behind me, not very well, I have been here before. If you watch this channel, you've probably seen this area. It's a beautiful day and a little crowded. There's a lot of people here, but there's 2 or 3 different locations. Let me start by showing you this bridge. Super great bridge, lots of shadows and neat stuff for portraits. So I'm going to walk across this bridge and go over to the other side where there is, well, because it rained like crazy this weekend, one of the places that I want to shoot is now covered up by water. Let me show you that. Okay, so here's this neat little waterfall, and then below the waterfall you can see some rocks, but usually there are a ton of rocks to go down there on and look back towards the waterfall. Right now the water level is so high, most of it is covered. So if we were shooting today, I don't think we'd be able to get down there and get that great looking back at the waterfall shot. You can see what's left of the mill that used to be here. Look at that, daffodils. We come back, that'll be our spring shot. Now, one thing when it comes to scouting a location, look at these stairs you got to walk down to get down to this great location below the falls. One question you got to ask yourself is, can your client, whoever you're working with, make this trek down here? You know, if you're working with little kids or animals, you know, older people, you know, can they make that little jaunt down there? And then of course across these rocks is going to be a little treacherous as well. And as you can see, not sure how easily I can get down past all of this stuff. Yeah. But what a great location. And I've already talked to the person who we're photographing, and she is very excited about the water location. So I am really hoping that most of this water that is covering the rocks will be gone and we'll have a little bit more ability to get down here. Okay, I actually managed to get down here farther than I thought I could get. The rocks way over on the edge were fairly dry and I was able to walk down here. One drawback to this spot when you're working with people is them being able to hear me in terms of directing and posing them, but I think it's a cool enough spot that it'll be worth doing. And I think the weather this next week is supposed to be relatively dry, so the water level should be down. So going trekking back up all these steps, at the top of these steps are some blooming daffodils. So there's my little chance to get a spring photograph. We might break out the light to do this, we'll see, depending on how this looks. Alright, that didn't work out very well. That was on such a weird little hill that I had a hard time getting my light set up, and I'll show you the best shot right here, but I don't think I got anything too outstanding with that. There's a couple things on the other side of the river that I want to check out. Some little grove of bamboo down there, which could be a really neat portrait spot. And then there's a big field, and we'll call it. I think I have some good ideas. And one thing that's nice about a good location is that you can have 2 or 3 different looks in a very close proximity to each other. That way your model or your subject is not having to walk too far from one place to the next, but yet you can get 2 or 3 different looking things. So this bridge, the waterfall and the rocks, that's 2. A little grove of bamboo trees, 3. And then there's some open field with the brick ruins from the mill, that's 4. 4 good places in this location that I think will work very, very well. So here I am on the other side of the river. It's this neat little wood footbridge again, and then of course here's the grove of bamboo that I told you about, which I think could make a really neat portrait spot. We're photographing a family, but we're photographing, the mom is pregnant, so it's a maternity shoot as well as a family shoot. I could definitely see her in here. Okay, one thing that I would always suggest is to scout a location with somebody else. 2 reasons. Number 1, they can be your stand-in model. You can get a sense of what they're doing as far as the pose and seeing backgrounds and things like that. But number 2 is to hold light. I didn't bring a big long stand to set up lights or to do anything. I did bring a light, but I'm having a difficult time holding it where I would need it, and since I'm not lighting up anybody, it looks a little weird. One thing that I'm always looking for when it comes to portrait locations is depth in my shot. Now, I'm not somebody who loves to necessarily blow out the background and make it all blurry. Although there's not necessarily a problem with that, I'm not always looking to just blow it out, but I like having some depth between my subject and the background. That way I can get a light from behind and create some dimension with some light. You know, and it's always hard to give dimension to an image that is just like flat up against a wall. So if you look where I'm at now, I'm out in this field with all these ruins of what used to be a mill out here. Let me come back around. There's definitely a lot of depth to this location to where I can get them easily off the background. Last thing, and most important thing, maybe one of the most important things, I guess, to talk about is the time of day that I am here. The photo shoot is next Saturday, and it is at 3 o'clock. Happens to be 3:15 right now, so where the light is shining is pretty much what it's going to look like. And you see those nice long shadows from those trees? That should be nice. If the day is anything like today, there's not a cloud in the sky and it's awfully bright, so we'll have to deal with that. But we will bring a light. We'll have a softbox. We'll be able to control the light to a certain extent. But it is important to go scout your location at about the same time of day that you're going to be there, because the sun can do completely different things in the morning from the afternoon, and also do completely different things in June that it's going to do in January. So time of day is important, but we're here at that right time of day. Absolutely gorgeous day today. Hopefully it's similar to this next Saturday. There's actually people over there sunbathing. It's February in the south, you guys. But I'm not finding any more daffodils or any more blooming flowers at the moment, which is a little disappointing. I thought I'd find more. Alright, so I think we'll call this a wrap. Call it a successful little scouting expedition. And I'll show you a couple pictures that I took here. Maybe I'll show you some photos from that photo shoot. I haven't got permission to show those to you, but I don't mean to tease on a photo shoot coming up and then not show you. But here's a few photos that I took today, just kind of scouting things out, and some pretty pictures of waterfalls, and nothing too special, but kind of fun. Hope it helped a little bit. If you guys got questions, let me know. If you have input about how you scout out a location, you know, maybe something I wasn't thinking about at the moment, let me know that too in the comments. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I'd greatly appreciate that. Like the video if you would, and I will see you guys in another video very, very soon. Have a good day.